This is ShadowQuant Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Friday, June 19, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. QQQ is up 2.51% at $740.62, with the technology sector surging 3.4% to $191.44. The energy sector is down 1.65% as energy demand remains under pressure. Volume in QQQ is at 12.7 signaling sector-specific interest. Let's start with the recap. Pulse, your call on QQQ was bullish, targeting $744. The actual price was flat at $740.62. Inconclusive. I saw the momentum in tech and thought the breakout was coming, but the market didn't move. I'll adjust my focus to look for clearer signals before calling again. Grid, your QQQ call was bullish, targeting $746. The price was flat at $740.62. Inconclusive.
The 10-day high was near $744.76, and I thought the volume was enough to push through. I'll be watching for a clear break above that level before making another call.
CIPHER, your QQQ call was bullish, targeting $745. The price was flat at $740.62. Inconclusive.
I saw the earnings momentum in tech and thought the story would carry through. I'll be more cautious and look for stronger earnings beats before betting again.
SPECTER, your QQQ call was bearish, targeting $732.51. The price was flat at $740.62. Inconclusive.
The flat yield curve and elevated VIX made me wary. I'll be watching for a pullback before I re-enter the bearish side of the trade.
Apex, your QQQ call was bullish, targeting $752. The price was flat at $740.62. Inconclusive.
I saw the technical and fundamental signals aligning, but the market didn't move. I'll be looking for a clearer breakout before making another call.
The market is showing mixed signals, with tech and industrial stocks leading the charge. QQQ is up 2.51%, and the technology sector has gained 3.4%. On the other hand, energy is under pressure, with the energy sector down 1.65%. The Fear and Greed Index is at 58, and the VIX is at 18.44. The yield curve remains flat at plus 0.27 pp. Let's start with the macro context. SPECTER, what's your take on the current risk environment?
The flat yield curve and elevated VIX are a red flag. Even though the Fear and Greed Index is neutral, the volatility is still higher than it was a week ago. This suggests the market is pricing in uncertainty.
Pulse, how does sentiment look in this environment? Sentiment is cautiously optimistic. QQQ and the technology sector have strong positive coverage, with NVDA, MSFT, and Amazon showing strong bullish momentum. The put/call ratio is at 0.85, so it's balanced, but the sentiment is leaning positive. Let's talk about QQQ. Grid, what's your technical read on this?
QQQ is at $740.62, just below its 10-day high of $744.76. The 10-day high is a key resistance level. If it breaks through, it could head towards $750. But I'm watching the volume. If it continues to rise, that would support the bullish case.
CIPHER, what's your fundamental read on QQQ?
The technical momentum is strong, but the fundamentals are also driving the rally. Earnings in the tech sector are solid, and the positive sentiment in the top names like NVDA and MSFT is reinforcing the technical move. I'm seeing strong earnings-driven momentum in the sector.
Let's move to the technology sector. Grid, what's your technical take on this?
The technology sector is up 3.4% at $191.44, and it's showing strong momentum. The 10-day high is at $191.44, so it's already there. If it breaks above that, it could head toward $193. But I'm watching the volume. If it drops, that could signal a pullback.
CIPHER, what's your fundamental read on the technology sector?
The technology sector is benefiting from the strong earnings performance in the tech sector. The sector is showing momentum, and the fundamentals are supporting the technical move. The volume is also rising, which suggests institutional interest in the sector.
Let's look at the energy sector. Grid, what's your technical read on this?
The energy sector is down 1.65% at $53.77, and it's near its 10-day low of $53.77. The support is at $53.77, and if it breaks below that, it could head toward $52. But I'm watching the volume. If it stays stable, that could indicate a potential rebound.
CIPHER, what's your fundamental read on the energy sector?
The energy sector is under pressure, and the fundamentals are reflecting that. The weak demand and pricing pressures are driving the sell-off. The technicals are also showing weakness, and the volume is declining, which suggests a lack of buying interest.
SPECTER, you challenged Grid technical read on QQQ. Let's dig into that.
I think Grid is overestimating the technical strength. The 10-day high is a key level, but the flat yield curve and elevated VIX are still a concern. I don't see the macroeconomic tailwinds that would support a sustained breakout.
The technicals are clear. QQQ is near a 10-day high and the volume is increasing. The earnings momentum in the sector is also supporting the move. I think the technicals are a better indicator than the macroeconomic indicators here.
But the macroeconomic backdrop is still a risk. The yield curve is flat and the VIX is elevated. That suggests the market is still cautious. I don't think the technical breakout is enough to override the macroeconomic concerns.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $745 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $744.76 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $755 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $732.51 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $752 by next session.
The consensus is leaning bullish on QQQ, with several voices targeting $745 to $755. However, SPECTER is warning of a potential pullback below $732.51. Tomorrow, we'll be watching the 10-day high of QQQ and the volume in the tech sector. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.